Good. Be updated. Okay. Our deck that we're playing today. Oh, let me move my mic. This is the deck we're playing today. I should have checked to make sure my mic was working. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. The deck we're playing today, it's a Creatureless spell control deck. Now you may be asking, why am I not playing Kahira? Because I don't like companions, and they're not very fun to play with. But anyways, the deck is based around the power of Inspiring Easel, which is a 2-mana, 5-color mana-fixing mana rock that you can incorporate blue and red into any of your spells to basically duplicate it whenever you cast it. This card is incredibly powerful, and it gives you this really powerful late game when with this deck where you're duplicating your Fractured Identities, which is an incredible card. You're duplicating your Jeskai Revelations, you're just duplicating your Lightning Helixes, your stock ups. Basically, if you survive to like turn 6 or 7 with this deck, you just win the game. And so that's the deck. We're gonna test it out, play some ranked here for a little bit, and then we might hop into an event. I was testing a different deck in Timeless. But let's hop into ranked with the deck and see how we do. I think we're gonna do ranked for the first beginning of it before I hop into an event, just because the events can sometimes take a very long time to find matches on. I think everything looks good in the streams. Still pretty new. This is my second day of streaming. Oh, we got a match. Let's go. I will be on the play. And this hand is perfectly good. Biblioplex, another really cool card with this deck. It's just basically a 5-mana land. You're not activating its ability too often. I do just realized, shouldn't have played this because we can't play Easel on 2 anymore, but that's okay. That was a bit of a misplay. Immediately, it's my first game on. Not even my first game of the day. It was just a mistake. I was thinking we didn't want to pay 2 life and cycle this Lauren revealed. But oh well. We'll just get a Steam Vents. Draw a stock up, which is fantastic. Pass the turn. Now the main deck Force Negations might seem a bit weird in this deck, but this deck really wants to tap out on turn 2 and turn 3 for stock up, Easel, and Tablet. And so just having a free interaction in Force Negation is really nice. Okay. Our opponent's doing something. Because, okay, so they're gonna be spells. We're just gonna play an Easel. And we're gonna pass. We don't want to play Tablet because we want to be able to play the land off of it if we mill it. And we probably want to leave up Supreme Verdict depending on what they do here. We'll see what they got going on. They shock in. They play Sapphire Medallion, ping us for 1. Suspicious. Maybe we were supposed to force that. Okay, we draw Helix, which was fantastic. So now we get to play Tablet. We'd really not like to see Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce would be really tough here. Or Mana Leak, I guess. We hit Fragment Reality. It's kind of awkward. I do think we use it on the Medallion. Selling down, they do have a 1-drop in Harmonized Trio. We'll make the Supreme Verdict a bit better. We don't get to leave up Helix now, but we have Force Negation up. Okay. We see Lindblum coming down to make a 1-1. That's fine. That's totally fine because we're going to Supreme Verdict, so we just really don't want to see any, like, big spell. Are they gonna... Oh, I would love for them to brainstorm here. Yeah, that's great for us. Here, we'll just Verdict. And then probably play Sacred Foundry untapped just to leave up Lightning Helix, just to make sure that we're nice and safe this turn. And then next turn, depending on what they do here, we either get to stock up or we get to incorporate the stock up and look at 4 cards. But we can stock up and Supreme Verdict next turn. Our opponent just plays another mage. They offspring it. Let's see if they have a 1-mana spell. They do not. So let's... Oh, we draw Revelations. Okay. Let's just stock up. We'd like to find a blue spell for Force Negation so that we can leave up... Okay, well, we find Force Negation and Fractured Identity. Which we'll take Fractured Identity. Fractured Identity, really cool card in this deck. It's expensive, which is why it doesn't see much play in Historic, but this deck is just so good at getting the 5 mana and playing its spells. And this card really turns matchups like Jund, where you're playing against Pyro and Barrowglyphs. It really just turns those matchups around for you. We're just gonna... I'm gonna be honest, don't even really know what this Gandalf does. But if you have an option to force a negation a creature, you might as well. Can't even look at what it does. It does seem like they have counterspell of some sort. But that's okay. Okay, they're just going to 3 steps ahead. That's fine. I think this just draws them cards. And we'll be able to Jeskai Revelations it on the way back down. There, we find another Easel. So we're at perfectly 7 mana right now. So we're not going to play the Easel. We want to leave up our Jeskai Revelations. We probably don't hit the Gandalf. Weird. I think we'll let that resolve. We'll see what their big play is, but this way they'll tap out a counter magic and we will almost definitely be able to resolve our Jeskai Revelations. Depending on what they do. If they just play... Okay, they him. They'll get 1. We're going to return that him, deal 4 damage to Stormcaller, and if they have a counterspell, we have Force of Negation backup. And this is the point of the game where this deck is just so difficult to deal with. You just have such powerful spells in your deck. Okay, that resolves. We returned the copied him so that they don't get it back into their hand, and they don't get an extra intensity off of it. And they just pass. So we are just going to play an Easel. Prowess. And this is another cool thing with Easel, if we want to go for it. So we can incorporate to Lightning Helix and deal 6, which will in turn do 12 to them. So I think we're just going to play another Easel, leave up Lightning Helix and Force of Negation. So yeah, cool thing with these Easels. The cool thing with the Easels is they do allow you to just make a giant Lightning Helix that just burns out for 15-20 damage. Okay, there's another Stormcaller. That's fine. I'm not really worried about that, because if they just want to spend time hymning to the ages, they can do that all they want. They're gonna hymn. Yeah, that one only has 1. So they can draw 3. But we are going to get to Fractured Identity this, and then use that to duplicate our Helix. Unfortunately, this kind of nombos with our Inspiring Easel, because Inspiring Easel is going to make Lightning Helix into a 4-drop. So that doesn't exactly work how we'll want it to, but I'm pretty happy with this anyway. So we're going to Fractured Identity, Prowess. If they have the counterspell, we just have Force. They consult? Yeah, that's fine. You can consult all you want. Okay. The land... We'll get your Storm Call. Well, I guess if they have Force Negation, but we'll force right back. Maybe. Or if they just have nothing and they're just going to torch our time. Okay, Stormcaller comes down. We get 2 Lightning Helixes. We get Prowess. Game for 9 or 6. Alright, game 1. I mean, that went pretty well. They didn't do anything for the majority of that game. Stern Scolding seems great. Force of Negation seems good. Air Tear seems good. Actually, Pending is probably better than Wear Tear. Let's just take the Fragment Realities out. Or Wear Tear go. 1 Wear Tear, and then we'll take out 1 Fractured Identity. I know Fractured Identity was good that match, or that game, but they don't really have that many good targets for it. Stealing a 2-drop with your Fractured Identity is not the best use of your mana. Game 2. This is a slow hand, but it's a fine hand. We're rocking Cody as our pet because he seems like the most Jeskai spells kind of guy. We've got this Art of Amonkhet getting destroyed, I think, for our sleeves. I think. Draw another Force Negation. I'm pretty happy with that draw. We don't need to do anything too crazy. We'll play Steam Vents this time so we can actually cast the Easel on turn 2 if we draw it. But we're probably going to cycle this Lore Unrevealed. If we need to, we probably pitch Jeskai Revelations, if I had to guess. Okay. There's a Mage. Play another tap land. Pass the turn. We're definitely stocking up next turn. Drawing a land, we actually might just hold the Lore Unrevealed for Force of Negation. Cavern on Wizard. They get in for 2. That's fine. And they just pass. We're gonna play Biblioplex. We're gonna stock up. If they have a counterspell for stock up, they have a counterspell for stock up. They didn't seem to have counterspells last game. They just make a 0/1, ping us for 1. Their spells are going to get kind of scary here. Let's get another Biblioplex and a Tablet. And we'll discard Shockland. This one's gonna be... We're under a lot of pressure here. We want to find a Supreme Verdict. We didn't find one there. We'll probably force negation pretty much anything off the back of this Lore Unrevealed. Just to interact with them a little bit. Yep, there's a Gandalf's Bane. We will happily force a negation that. With the idea of next turn, we're going to play Tablet, since we'll get to Jeskai Revelation the turn after. Okay, I'm legging in for 2. We're down to 13. Supreme Verdict off the top would be good. We find Mistrai's Village, which is pretty good. We mill, we find a land, we'll put that into play tapped. We really wanted to find a blue spell here. Not finding a blue spell is kind of unfortunate, because we don't really want to pitch the Jeskai Revelation. But if they tap out for something, we will get to... Okay, they're going to play Stormcaller and then probably Hymn to the Ages, if I had to guess. Which is great. We'll probably just Jeskai Revelation on our turn, just to make sure it resolves. That does leave us open to Force Negation, but... They don't seem to be on counterspells that much. At least not on Force Negation. They're gonna draw 3. I don't think we were supposed to force that, because this is really our only action in the deck. Just have 1 red mana. So we're going to return this, deal 4 damage to this. Make 2 1/1s. We find Stern Scolding, which is okay. We Probably just easel next turn. We might start turning on Suspicious. I mean, we block. I mean, we take that trade all day. We are more than happy to make that trade. And we find a Lauren revealed. I think with Lauren revealed, we just draw. We get a prowess trigger. If you want to see the full deck list for this deck, it is in the description. Now, this is a deck I've been working on this one for a while. They just straight up pack the negation. Okay. We'll just play easel. Another prowess trigger. Get him for 3. We get to leave up if fry. Okay. I mean, yeah, you're popping off. Frying half of our Jeskai Revelations token is like the lowest amount of card advantage you could possibly have. Or card disadvantage. They now have to tap out. They take a damage. Oh, Shivan Reef. They only have 2 blue that way. Interesting. To Lotus Field? What is happening? They're like a Blood Sun deck, I guess? Okay, we draw another Volt or Biblioplex. We're just gonna make this into a 5/5. Or a 2/4. Pass a turn. We do have Force of Negation. We can't Force of Negation and Stern Scolding, but we can do one. Which we will do. If they have a counterspell for this, they have a counterspell for this, and we might lose this game if we just keep drawing lands. They have another Pact of Negation? Alright. Okay, you draw 3. That's pretty good. Okay, they play Island. We'd like to draw some action. Pact of Negation is fascinating. Okay, 3 blue. So another him. Snapcaster him. Ugh. Okay, not being able to leave up Stern Scolding hurts here, because now we are getting drowned out on cards. Yep, there's 4 more cards for you. So they're only going to have 3 mana next turn after their Pact of Negation trigger, which is fine for us. We'll probably just animate another Biblioplex unless we draw something really good. We haven't really drawn anything in a while. We mostly just drawn mana. We have a lot of card draw in our deck. We find another land. So let's just make a 5/5. Why do I keep saying 5/5? It's a 2/4. Get in. You're gonna block for the damage. You do not. Okay. Pack trigger goes on a stack. I mean, we've got a lot of damage. If we ever draw a Lightning Helix, we get to kind of cook. Get to deal 6 with the Lightning Helix. And make it uncounterable. They have another land. With 7 cards. This is on Wizard, so Stern Scolding, I guess, is probably not doing anything. They're really thinking. They play VB uncounterably. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we find Force of Negation. Alright. Dock it in. Another 2/4. Let's go. We're cooking. We're cruising. This one's probably over. We drew 1 Jeskai Revelation. 1 stock up. We have not found any other card draw. Okay. We see another Lindbalm. I think we'll force that. We don't really have anything else better to do with our mana. They him for 5. Okay. They're cooking. This is gonna be a long game, I think. Okay. They make mana with VV. Oh, VV's nerfed now. I didn't even realize that. Okay, I don't even know what they just cast. And a sculpt. Okay. I mean, they've tapped out unless they have another Pact of Negation. If we draw Jeskai Revelations, I think we just win. Maybe. They've unmade the mana. Oh, brother. Yeah, we'd love to find Helix, Lauren Revealed. They're just gonna go for the kill. Okay. Yep, we're just dead. Good games. Weird game. We did not draw particularly well that game. Okay. I've got some weird tech here. What if I bring in Surgical Extraction? No, it seems odd. I think we just take out the Fractured Identities. We bring in some Surgicals, because how are they supposed to win if we Surgical their hymns? On the play. This hand's okay. Leyland tapped. Pass the turn. Hopefully we draw some more action. Another weird thing about this deck is I'm not playing Counterspell, which is kind of odd. You would think, but this is much more of a tap-out control deck. There's very few turns in the early game where you're not putting your lands into... where you're not completely tapped out passing the turn. Play another land, pass the turn. We probably cycle this Lauren Revealed, depending if they make us want to force a negation or not. Jeskai Revelation was a good draw, eventually. They play a tap land, we go to our turn. We find Easel. We'll play Easel. Play another land tapped, we'll pass the turn. Easel, not very good with Prismatic Ending, unless you're trying to exile a 0-cost spell. Where's the Kahira? I said this earlier. This is a Kahira deck, but one, that doesn't make it very creatureless. That's fine. That doesn't make the deck very creatureless. And also, I hate companions so much. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't like companions. I get it's correct. I just don't like playing them. They're tedious. I've played many years of companions at this point, and I'm over putting them in my deck. I was so glad when Yorion got banned in Modern, so I could stop putting Yorion in my deck. Thespian Stage. Okay, so that's for their Lotus Fields. And another Lindbalm. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, now we're at the point where we probably do just... Can't say I agree, but that's understandable. No, that's totally fair. So I think here we tablet Illis Stern Scolding, which isn't very good. We're gonna incorporate... I think this works. I haven't actually done this. X equals 0. Target 1. We'll find out if this works. It does? Okay. Yeah, I just... I wanted this to be Creatureless. And typically, like, I had Kahira in this for a while. The last game was one of the weird ones where we do just have, like, nothing to do with our mana, and we have a lot of it. This deck is usually tapped out about 90% of the time, and so Kahira actually wasn't that good. And so I didn't feel too bad about getting rid of it. Because between the Biblioplexes and, like, all of your expensive spells, you're just spending all of your mana all the time. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at the we can almost incorporate Jeskai Revelations and start double casting our Jeskai Revelations. Well, they just concede, so it doesn't matter anyways. Okay. That was a pretty good one. Weird game too, but Uh, let's hop into another ranked. And hopefully not wait 17.5 minutes. We're already there. Wow, look at this. I've been so spoiled. We're on the play. This is not the greatest hand of all time. No, I'm not going to keep it because we don't have red mana for a tablet. This hand's better. The one interesting thing about this deck, when I was deck building it, is since you want to tap out turn 2 and turn 3 almost every single game for your tablets and your stock ups, that's why I'm playing the 4 Supreme Verdict and the main deck Force Negations. Because the decks that punish you for tapping out on turn 2 and turn 3 that don't get punished by Force Negation do get punished by Supreme Verdict. However, Yawgmoth is a scary one. This deck, I promise, this deck has enough lands. I usually play not enough lands. I like to cut lands. I'm a bit greedy like that, but I swear this deck has like 26 if you count the Lauren reveals. That Mistland drop, I think, is probably going to come back to bite us. We'll see. Woe Strider makes me a little bit less nervous because this card sucks. Okay, we find Easel. Just something. Now, if we draw a land, we have Supreme Verdict up. Does this... Not sorcery, but I can't imagine they want to sacrifice their Woe Strider. So we have Supreme Verdict next turn. We have Stock Up if we don't hit Supreme Verdict. Take it in for 3. That's fine. And they play Eye Twitch. Okay. I want to build an Eye Twitch deck really bad. So I think here we probably... So they're not Yawgmoth, they're just Sacrifice, it seems. You'd play Eye Twitch if you were actually playing Yawgmoth. They're oopsing. We'll see what we want to discard. I'm not sure if we want to discard the Revelations. We probably discard the Revelations, especially since we have stock up in our hand to refill. We don't need the card advantage later in the game. And I think we're probably going to want a Supreme Verdict as many times as we can this game, but... Oh wait, I thought we discard off of... I haven't played against Priests of the Forgotten Gods in 9 years. Okay, we do find land. Play land. Don't know if we want to Supreme Verdict this turn. I think we want to save it for next turn and just try to hit our land drops. Play a stock up. We find land... Land? Probably. Or do we want land easel? I think we want land easel. Land easel will allow us to play. We can play easel and Supreme Verdict next turn. They didn't use their ring. They could have cracked Fabled Passage to use their ring. Okay, Mayhem Devil. Kind of scary. Now they crack. Oh, so they wanted to save it for Mayhem Devil. I feel like they probably should have just drawn the extra card. Because they'd be up to 3 cards, but instead now they're only at 1. The ring, and that's if they use the ring this turn. They're not even going to use it. Okay, Trail of Crumbs. Yeah, that's fine. They get in for 3. So we're Supreme Verdicting for sure this turn. We draw another Revelations. We play Easel. This card's so sick. I love this card. They do get to activate their Priest. They don't get to do all too much with it. Guess what? We have no creatures. Can't make a sacrifice anything if we have no creatures. However, we are dying. We would like to find Supreme Verdict at some point. They can escape Woe Strider, but if they escape Woe Strider, we get to just Verdict again. I'm not too nervous about that. We have Corvold. Okay, they're kind of cooking. If we draw land, we're at Jeskai Revelations. We're getting kind of owned. Okay, we find Stock Up. Let's just tablet. We mill Fractured Identity? Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll exile your Corvold. Do we want to sacrifice a permanent? I think we sacrifice an easel here. I think this seems good. We draw a card, we find a land, we pass a turn. Now we have Jeskai Revelations up. We'll see how this goes. I haven't played this as like, I mean, other than the One Ring, this and iTwitch, this is straight out of, did they even, they don't have, oh, they didn't put any lessons in their sideboard. That's what happened. This is straight out of like old arena gun sacrifice. Okay, there's a Shieldred. Don't like that. There's an iTwitch. We draw. We find Fragment Reality. You lose 2 life. Gonna get him for 5. Oh, we have to sacrifice another permanent? Oh. I didn't realize that. Okay, I guess we sacrifice a land. Okay, so we put ourselves to 3 for no reason. That was a choke. They don't block. We just Verdict. They learn. Okay. We should be at a much healthier life total than this. But that's okay. That's okay. We didn't need those 2 extra life anyways. We have, I think instead of stocking up, we're just going to leave up Fragment Reality here. They're close to just being dead to the ring. If they draw here with the ring, there's a world where we just kill them with the ring with Jeskai Revelations. I guess they have a food token, so that's going to make it a bit harder. But depending on what they do here, we have Fragment Reality. They Coco. Okay. They hit just a goose. Got it. I don't think that's what they were looking for. And they play Priest. Priest, not too scary. We're just going to Fragment Reality, find Verdict. We'll just pass with Jeskai Revelations up. They go to 6. If they take 2 more damage on accident, I mean, we can't really kill them. Okay, Cursebound Witch. That's fine. Into Mayhem Devil. So we're going to return the Mayhem Devil. Deal 4 damage to the Priest. We could deal the 4 damage to them, but they're just dead to us dealing 4 damage with Jeskai Revelations with the Jeskai Revelations on our turn. So I don't really, I just want to make sure that we live this turn. They play Witch's Oven. So we can bounce the Witch. They tapped out of a food, so we can deal 4 damage. Prowess. How do we gain life? Does this gain us 4 life? How do we gain life? What happened? Oh, this does give us 4 life. Oh, it does gain 4 life. I'm a fool. Okay. Pending seems good. Divine Purge seems good. Scolding seems okay. Force of Negation doesn't seem very good. Wear Tear does. I don't know. I think we're probably supposed to bring in Scolding. I think we don't bring in the Wear Tear. We're gonna trim one tablet, one Fractured Identity, one stock up. Okay. Game 2. No red mana, double Fragment Reality. Yeah, this hand's much better. We're gonna pitch the Lorn Revealed. We don't have Force Negation anymore, so we don't need the extra blue spells. A Trail of Crumbs we are going to instantly kill. I just truly don't want to deal with that. Next turn, depending on what they do, if they play Mayhem Devil, we probably just pending it. If they don't play Mayhem Devil, we're probably stocking up. We'll see what we want to do. The world's our oyster. Okay, there is Mayhem Devil. We are just going to pending. The nice thing with between Biblioplex and Easel, we can get up to X equals 4 through pending pretty easily. Okay, they shock in. They play their ring. That's fine. I raise your ring with my stock up. We're gonna get land Revelation. Play a tap land, pass the turn. We do next turn, we could Fractured Identity the One Ring if we wanted to. If they play Shieldred, we do that. If they play Corvold, yeah, if they play Corvold, we get rid of the Corvold. Oh, we drew Verdict. I'm actually going to Verdict, only because Corvold, as we learned last game, not very good for us. If they don't play anything we want a Fractured Identity, I am going to just cycle this Lauren Revealed to get a land, just so we can keep working up towards this Jeskai Revelations. And getting a land will also allow us to steal the ring and draw a card. They whiff. These have been the worst collected companies of all time. A little bit of BM, just for fun. This was, if you're new to Arena, you might not know this, but this deck was like the toxic deck for the longest time. Gun Sacrifice was like the most annoying deck you could possibly play against. This was pre-nerfed Cat. This deck was a real nightmare. I mean, you gotta admit, that's pretty sick. It's pretty good. Now we have Revelations next turn. This game's over. They need to do something crazy this turn, which they do not. We'll just pass the turn. Leave up Revelation. If they don't do anything, we can just draw with the ring. However, might just not need to. This, we are going to instantly Fragment Reality. I'm not even worrying about the cat. It was probably better to Jeskai Revelations, but I hate... The cat's so annoying. It's so annoying. And now we just get to draw 2 with our ring. This is everyone's ring. But our turn. No lands. Pass the turn. Another land. They're flooded out, and they concede. Alright. 2-0 on the day. Hop into another. It's gonna be a shorter stream because I got back kind of late, so we'll probably play like 2 more games. And I feel like I have been on an all-time run with being on the play. This hand's fantastic. We'd like to find a Force Negation. Actually, we're up against Wizards, so... Oh, it's probably Wizards. We'll play Steam Vents past a turn, with the idea of playing Easel into stock up. Blooming Marsh. The Thoughtseize, okay. I don't know what you take out of this hand of Thoughtseize. I think you're supposed to take the Easel. But do you take the Easel? I don't know. Fractured Identity could be the good one. Okay, we draw Fragment Reality, which is pretty solid. We're not going to telegraph that we drew something with a Shockland, although we probably should have. I think we're just going to hunt for a Supreme Verdict. We do find Force. Land. We could grab the other Fractured Identity, but I don't think we need to. I think just being able to... Okay, they have Jarsoul for another Thoughtseize. That's quite good. Okay, so they're just Jund. And Jund is the matchup where Fractured Identity really shines. They take our Fragment Reality. They get in for 1. We find a village. We'll just stock up. There's a Supreme Verdict. And we'll take land. Pass the turn. There's Barrowglyph. Don't have Thoughtseize. What we need. I guess we force a negation the next off. So we could just take the Barrowglyph. But I think that this is better. Getting the free 3-for-1 against Jund is about all you could ever ask for. Especially since now if they tap out for Pyroglyph or something, we get to instantly Fractured Identity. Fractured Identity particularly good against, as we'll see here, particularly good against Pyroglyph, because we just instantly get the Pyroglyph, get to deal that damage right back, and if we get to steal something else with Fractured Identity, Pyroglyph just keeps on cooking. But this is the matchup that Fractured Identity just really shines in. Jund would traditionally be a really bad matchup for a deck like this. So this deck is a bit light on... That's the idea of the 4-of main deck. Do you think this deck is too light on cheap removal? The idea of the 4 main deck Supreme Verdict is because it's kind of a catch-all for the lack of cheap removal. We'll just play a land, pass a turn. We're with the idea of Jeskai Revelationing. They concede. So that's kind of the idea of the 4 Supreme Verdict and 3 Helixes, and why our sideboard is like so primed for these types of matchups. Speaking of which, pendings, we bring in pending here. We're gonna pitch the Force of Negations. You're basically just playing Fractured Identity because of the easel and the tablets kind of acts as your cheap removal. And there's not too many decks that are super aggressive in a way where Supreme Verdict's not. So I haven't felt it too bad. It is a weird spot of the deck. We'll leave 1 Force in. It is a weird spot of the deck, but it hasn't... The 4 Fractured Identity for Supreme Verdict helps quite a bit. This deck really just wants to survive till like turn 5 or 6. You're fine with going low on life. Supreme Verdict is typically clunky. I found it to be a lot better in this deck. Just because you want to tap out so often. I don't think expensive spells to play catch-up is what we should be spending slots on. I typically agree. This deck... That's kind of how I originally had this deck. I had this deck built originally when I first kind of came up with this idea of using the easel. The original idea with the deck was to play the Chorus Control style spells deck. Well, this game we're about to get cooked. We're about to get owned by the exact thing we're talking about here. But this deck plays very odd. And I actually found... I've cut a lot more of the expensive spells. I think there's a world where main decking Prismatic Ending is correct. I think I had them in. I took them out for the Helixes, just to give the deck some more reach. Yeah, we're about to get cooked this game. Dying before turn 6 is not rare. Okay, well, yeah, especially since they have Maggot. They got us this time. This deck's a weird one. But you, like, with the easels, you probably do want to play the Prismatic Endings. I think there's a world where you cut the Force of Negations. Force of Negation, this deck is an older brew of mine. I built this deck a few months ago, and the metagame was a lot more built around the Ruby Storm. Yeah, the metagame was built a lot more around like Ruby Storm, and there's a lot more like spell-based control decks, and so the Force of Negations felt very necessary. It was actually at 4 for a while. This deck is far from being perfect. That's for sure. We're gonna get Steam Vents here. I think you've cursed me, because now the exact issues with this deck that you've been bringing up. But I guess if we don't draw lands, we're not winning anyways. Just let's not see a Barrow right here. Okay, Rumble is fine. They got a Hierarch. That's so okay. We're just gonna play stock up. We'll get a land, we'll get a halt. Oh, wait. That was a bit of a mix hit. That was a bit of a misclick. I've been more impressed with Supreme Verdict than I think you're giving it credit for. They're not finding their land, which is good for us. I didn't mean to grab double lands off of this. So the question is, do we Helix this Scion? I think we don't. Okay, they play a land, they fetch. We're probably Supreme Verdicting next turn no matter what. Yeah, especially since we see Pyroglyph coming down. But our turn, we find Lauren revealed. Just get that Pyroglyph out of here. We're getting close to our Revelations. There's Barrowglyph. I think we just verdict again. Just trade 1 for 1. What more do we need to do? That's the turn. Okay, they play Blood Crit. I think we're probably cycling this Lauren revealed. Hieroglyph with haste. I think we're just going to Fragment Reality that. Hopefully they don't hit. Okay, just hit Ignoble. That's fine. We're gonna cycle just to make sure that we hit our Jeskai Revelations next turn. That's the turn. Good luck, opponent. See, this is a match where Supreme Verdict, typically not at its best, does get to kind of be fun here. Where you're just trading 1 for 1. You're happy to do that because you're just trying to survive to your... You're gonna put Gigantha into hand. I think we're just gonna go for the win next turn. We're gonna bounce their Hierarch, deal 4 damage to them. With the idea of Helix is 6. Yeah, Helix does it. Prowess. Helix. Okay. I'll make an edit. I think let's stop the recording. Let's move one more. Let's go pending. One force, cut a tablet. And what do we want to do in the sideboard? That's the big question. We have one more sideboard slot here. Just probably go another pending. Now that seems bad. No, you're not railing up the deck at all. Like I said, this is meant to be the idea of like streams is kind of to work on the deck. The one yesterday I was pretty happy with how it turned out, so I didn't really make too many edits, but this one is like very much a work in progress. I really like the way this deck plays, but it's a very weird one. I don't know what to do for another sideboard slot. We probably also just cut the wear tear. Let's cut the wear tear for another pending. Pending's just really good. And we probably want some sort of like, we would just put in a veto or let's just go. Right, you can never go wrong with putting consigned to memory in your sideboard. Let's do this. Let's put in another consigned to memory. And maybe just trim a revelation or trim a fractured identity. Probably just trim a revelation. That seems... You don't really need to resolve more than one. Like, let's try this. I need to update the Mox field because I still have not set up Untapped. But yeah, this deck is very much a work in progress. Like I said, I built this deck a while ago. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Import. And by a while ago, I mean with the release of Strixhaven. So, not that long ago. Hey! Thanks for the follow, Yoma. I can't really chat. I think we're playing against the exact same opponent. We'll keep this hand. I think this hand's fine. I appreciate the follow on Twitch. Thank you very much. Let's see what they do. We got the Doctor Doom sleeves. Wait, those are cool. I always love the animated sleeves on here. I think I'm gonna play this last match. Okay, this is the same matchup, but they have Mulligan down to 4. We'll just starting town, Fragment Reality, and pass. They play a Vista. We will happily just 1 for 1 for this entire game if we can. They rumble. That was a good one. Rumble into Jarsol's pretty sick here. We'd love to find Helix. Oh. Pass the turn. Can I set a stop in their main phase? They soar in. Okay. Well, I can't Helix that one.
Good silverware.
I mean, we just get an island now. No, what am I saying? We get steam vents. I guess this forces us to pay life next turn. But I don't care. Technically, I should have gotten and played Hollowed Fountain, but they don't extort. Should be able to stop before they go to combat. Next turn, we're just gonna fire off the Supreme Verdict for sure. Okay, they're gonna get him for 1. I mean, they're down to 1 card. We're fine with just firing off Supreme Verdict, and if they draw a Goyf, we get to instantly steal it with Fractured Identity. Supreme Verdict. That's the turn. I do have another deck that I'm working on right now. I have a Timeless deck that I've been working on a lot that I'm kind of excited. It's not perfect yet, but it's a mono blue control deck in Timeless. We would, thank you so much for playing that. We would love a Barrowglaive. I appreciate the donation, but it's a Namor the Submariner mono blue control deck with 4 Force of Negation, 4 Force of Will. Okay, while drawing 4 Fractured Identity against your Jund opponent that mulligan to 5 is about all you could ever ask for. Yes, thank you very much. I would love another Barrowglaive. Thank you so much. I would love another Barrowglaive. I will mill 5. Unfortunately, wait, why am I milling cards? I just realized I have no creatures in this deck. I would love to test the time after this match. I'm definitely down to play it. I don't have a sideboard built for it yet. But I mean, we don't need to. We can still do a best of 3. It's pretty early in my brewing process. But for the sake of the YouTube video, I need to explain the changes I made, because I do think I'm probably going to edit and post this after the stream. But we worked on this deck in between rounds. As you can see, this deck looks very different. And by very different, I mean a little bit different. We put in the 2 pendings from the sideboard and 1 more, just to give a little bit more early interaction. We trimmed down a Force of Negation, trimmed down a Jeskai Revelation. But those are the cards I brought in against Jund anyway, so I think we're just not changing anything. I'm up for a best of 3. We can do a best of 3. I just want sideboard. Best of 3 is a bit more fun. A best of 1 will be over in like 2 minutes. We'll get more valuable data. This hand's fantastic against Jund. We'll play Verge on turn 1, just so we can leave up Fragment Reality. The question is, do we Fragment Reality a Malevolent Rumble token? I was maybe supposed to Force a Negation that. I get Barrowglaive. Barrowglaive will be big. We'll put this into play tapped. We're gonna Fragment Reality the Barrowglaive. Is my idea. If they play Pyroglyph, oh, they play Magus. Okay, so we'll be Fragment Realitying the Magus. Magus is not ideal for us. Okay, they get Ignoble. But this is fine. We get to get closer and closer to Force of Negation. We find Fragment Reality, play a land, pass the turn. There's the Barrowglyph. We'd love to find land here to just get the Supreme Verdict. Another Barrowglyph. Okay, we'd really like to find a land here. Please land. Easy. Wasn't even worried. Wasn't even worried. Now we'd just like to find another land. This, we will just force negation this, I think. They're so low on resources, we're fine with keeping them starved for resources. They play Ignoble and pass. We'll play a tap land, we'll pass back. We'd love to see a Pyroglyph or a Barrowglyph come down now that we have Fractured Identity up. We'd love for them to make a donation. We don't need to Helix this because we want to save a Helix for Jarsel. We're just going to get Gigantha. Now we'll Helix. Just to use our mana a bit better. Go to our turn. We'd love to find Tablet or Easel. That didn't even explode. It just disappeared. Oh, we'd love to see Tablet or Easel here. Giving they turned their computer off. Oh, they didn't. Oh my gosh, it's our turn. Well, that was a great draw. Yeah, Fractured Identity. Really good against Jund. Really good against the Goyfs. The various Goyfs. We could activate our Bibliotech at end of turn, but that seems not ideal against the push deck if they still have Fatal Push in their deck. There's another matchup where just having no creatures too makes all their removal so bad. Delian Fell is going to have an identity crisis.
Show me what you've learned.
We'll take that Planeswalker. Thank you very much. We'll draw a card and lose a life. Play a land, leave up Fragment Reality. They can kill it with Pyroglyph, so maybe there's a reason to tick it up. But, I mean, if they want to use their Pyroglyph to answer... No. We'll add a stop. Get that out of here. We just need to keep them as low on resources as possible. Okay, gonna go to our turn. Draw another card. I love Delian Fell. I was such a Delian Fell hater when this card got revealed.
Learn something.
But turns out this card quite strong. We would like to keep our Planeswalker around, so we're just gonna answer their Ignoble. That's the turn. We have Delian Fell to answer something. If they play a Pyroglyph, we get to just instantly steal it. Go to our turn. We find land. Kill the Gigantha.
Be gone.
I think now we can make this into a creature. Doesn't play untap just to leave up Helix. Pass it her. I mean, hey, this one's going pretty good. Here's Damping Sphere. That's not going to do a whole lot against us. And they concede. And hey, you can't ask for much more than that. That went about as well as possible. Okay. Yeah, if you want to send a challenge, I'm definitely up for playing a match of Timeless. We'll see how this deck goes. I did have fun that match. Hold on, I have to click through 800 things. Now watch, since I said something, you're going to absolutely crush this deck, and it's going to it's going to get absolutely slaughtered. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Like I said, it's a very new brew. And by very new, I mean I've just started working on it this morning. But I want to start playing some of the other arena formats. I think I just hit a stride with Historic. I think Historic is a really, really fun format right now. But, I mean, Timeless will always have my heart. The Timeless metagame kind of sucks. I mean, this hand is fine. This hand's fine. Hello. Do that. No shuffle. That's the turn. That's the turn. So we have a handful of Force of Wills. Okay, so you're just on Demir. That's fine. Strip Mine's rude. I'd prefer if you didn't. Personally, I'd prefer if you didn't Strip Mine me. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. I think here we just pass. We could ponder, but I think that this makes sense to just get this, depending on if we see a frog here. We do not. Get Survey Land. Yeah, we'll play this game. How do we want to do this? I think we do it like this. No. We do this. No shuffle. And in that case, we are going to just do that. I guess we were probably supposed to do this one so that we could leave this up, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Okay, Brainstorm and Fetch. Play a land. Okay, Strip Mine. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that all you want. I've got no qualms of you doing that. The Treasure Cruise. Yeah, that one I don't know about. I don't really want you to have that. You can force me back, and that's okay. Ace. That's fine. I think I miss playing this one. I don't think I am playing this one particularly well. I'm a bit... Okay, Hydro Homie. Hydro Homie's annoying. Okay. I mean, it's now or never, right? Amor. Get rid of your land. We'll daze. Make a merfolk. That's fine. Rip, mine's fine. Just snuff out. I'll force that. I don't really want to get rid of my treasure cruise, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'll force it. Yeah, that's the thing with playing against mono blue. I have every counter spell you could ever ask for. I think yeah, we'll just get in for 7. Question is, do you have Toxic Deluge? That's fine. You can strip me all you want. Fatal Push? Yeah, that's fine. Spin the deck. Get that percentage point. That was an interesting draw. That's a turn. Treasure Cruise? Treasure Cruise. Yeah, that's fine. That was a weird that was a weird game. Oh, I have 1 Force of Negation in the sideboard. Wow. Never mind, I do have a sideboard. So this is the deck, if you're in the stream right now. It's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one. We're on it back. I got some work to do on it still, but it's definitely cool. Namor is a very interesting threat. Would I say this deck is good? No, it's not winning any tournaments anytime soon, but I think I could see you winning a midweek Magic with this deck, or not a midweek Magic, like a metagame challenge. It's fun. It's definitely fun. Namor's a very cool threat, and getting to play the full 8 free spells makes Namor very fun. So where maybe this is supposed to be, is it? Or so you can play Ragavan instead of Hydro Homie? But we'll keep yeah. I can't really let that one resolve. Ambassador. Play a Misty. I raise your Misty with a polluted Delta. Don't play anything scary here. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty darn good. Put these 2 back, I think. Put this back. This isn't going well. Alright, shoot me in the face, come on. Man, Bowmasters has been so bad in Historic because of the nerf. I forgot what it's like to play against a stupid card. Actually, I love Bowmasters. I don't know why I'm being a hater right now. Bowmasters is genuinely one of my favorite cards. Yeah, we don't want that. Don't force a will me. If you force a will me, that's so rude. Turn Scolding's fine. Okay. Mystical Dispute. That's fine. We'll pick this up. So there is a build of this deck that I had for a while that was blue-white, specifically for Swords to Plowshares, and I'm kind of missing that right now. I mean, I'd make that block hole. I'm guessing Fatal Push? Force Pitch Force. That's fine. I got my 2/1/1s. Okay, well the problem with this deck is if Namor dies, I don't think I can really win anymore. Which isn't ideal. Well, that was certainly a draw. Need to go into full control. Very interesting. Yeah, we do it like that. Number one. Weird draws. You know what? You can have your turn back. I don't want my turn. You can have yours back. Brainstorm's fine. So this brainstorm did not go how I wanted it to. I really wanted to find anything but these two spells that I found. Those locked me up a bit. The Tamio. Mana drain that. Dispute. We have Spell Pierce. Okay.
Oh, how am I supposed to focus on only one project?
You have the Force too? You have something. Yeah, you got this one. Yeah, I drew Namor in the Ring off of my brainstorm. Which was not really what I was looking for. Your Strip Mine got me. Dimir seems like a pretty rough matchup for this deck in general. Dimir just seems tough for a deck like this. Okay, I will be on the play. Alright. We'll see how this goes. As a turn. Yeah, that's fine. The question is, do I fetch on end step? Do I fetch on end step, or do I surveil? Or do I try to play around Strip Mine? I think surveilling's just better here. That's at the bottom. Draw an interesting one. We'd love to just do this turn. Yeah, we'll mana drain. That's so rude. Okay. Archive down. Hydro Homie down. We get a colorless. I'll answer you one back. I finally find my own Hydroponics Architect. Hey, don't do it. Okay, show me the Force Negation. I know you have it. Oh, you don't? Actually, you're probably not playing it. Pass the turn. They're saying it's the worst brainstorm of all time. This deck might want Chrome Mox. It's kind of hard to resolve a 3-mana spell in this format. Yeah, that's fine. Do it like that. Interesting. Interesting draws. Okay, Tamio's fine.
If you need me,
Brainstorm is... Yeah, Brainstorm's not fine. We'd really prefer you didn't flip that. Why did I play this? No more is here. That's the term. I would prefer, as a genuine request, you didn't kill my Namor. I think you should just let it go. Let it be really annoying. No blocks. I'm not trusting it. When you... Brainstorm's fine. Much as I don't want it to be fine, it's fine. Tamio flips.
every plane has stories to share.
It's the rainforest. Tick up, okay.
Use your words.
And hydroponics expert. That's... I just messed up pretty bad there. I messed up pretty bad. I was supposed to fetch after brainstorming. To Bowmasters. I'll take my island back, please. Actually, I'm supposed to return this one. What am I doing? Being a fool. Force of will. So we're going to think into stupor the force of will. I think I targeted the right spell. Put you back. Put you back. Back Tamio. Yeah, that makes sense. You can get back push. It's probably what's happening here. Ponder. You can get back push, crack the clue, push Namor. If you found blue spell, you have counter spell up. I think that's probably still good for me because I can kill your Tamio, get him for 3. I also have this in my hand. Hopefully you just didn't find blue spell. I'm gonna kind of bank on that. I just turned my mouse's DPI so low. What just happened? Oh my gosh, what just... My mouse's DPI is negative 40 right now. Here we go. Okay, push Namor. Do you have the force? You do have the force. And one at Tamio. Yeah, that feels right. Alrighty. The Masters is a good one. I put you back. Yeah, Bowmasters resolves. That was a good one. Okay. Do I have another island? You have another island. Okay. Let's ponder. Those are very interesting. I think I have to do this, unfortunately. Play Hydro. Pass the turn. Okay, I'm really glad that you traded off that Bowmaster. I understand why you did it, but it worked out much better for me. I think I probably lose if you don't trade off the Bowmaster. This is fine. Fine. Counter the Tamio. Unfortunately, not really getting anywhere here. I was supposed to fetch and nope, don't attack. I almost just fat fingered that so hard. I was supposed to fetch in response to the draw. I would love for you to attack here. Draw push. Oh, you have Bowmaster. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you go to 6. It's gonna be who draws Treasure Cruise. Unfortunately, I only have 1 left. That was a draw. It's about to be a very boring game. Yeah, I can't let that resolve. Well, I have the rings in my deck. I'll race. I have the rings. I have 3 more rings. I have a Treasure Cruise. I have 2 more Namors. Ring is obviously our best draw at this point. Cruise is a good draw. This is the grindiest game of Magic I've played in a long time. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, I biffed that. I biffed that bad. Man, that was a bit of an oopsie. Yeah, that's fine. Just get that out of here. So unfortunately, I don't have a good way to get rid of this Bowmaster. Yep. Amor? I think you're winning. Not sure how the calculus on this works out, but I'm pretty sure you're winning right now. Yeah, I don't really want that to result. I think I have some more. I have some great draws. Let's just draw the ring off the top. Okay. Not my favorite draw, but it certainly is something. Okay, well. Very interesting one. Okay, get your guy. Do you have dispute? I'm also out of lands. Okay. You can brainstorm. You can brainstorm to your heart's content. This is one heck of a game of Magic right now. Tomio? I think I need to fetch here. Because I don't want to draw this. Well. Come on, Namor. Got like 2 of you left. We're at 16 cards. That's a turn. Alright. We're cooking. We're cooking. Treasure Cruise? Treasure Cruise. Okay. I think that probably spells the end for me. I don't think I can come back from that. Depending on what you drew. How many forces do you have? Okay, you're putting me down to 3 lands. That's fine. I imagine you found another land. Didn't. Alright. Okay, well that didn't really work out in my favor. Alright, you got it. So, I'm starting to think I'm supposed to put another color in this deck. This is probably a deck that wants Frog and Bowmaster, but then I'm just playing Demir, and that's kind of boring. That was a good game. I think I'm probably gonna have to go here. It's already it's 4:30 here, so I think I'm gonna head off the stream, but I appreciate the games. I'll be back soon. I think we're gonna go back to our Obzon mid-range deck. I think we're gonna go back to this deck in my next stream, just because this deck's so fun. I love playing this deck so much. Yeah, that was a very crazy game. Yeah, I think this deck... I think I want to add either black or white. I was thinking white for swords, but black for Bowmaster seems pretty good. And maybe just cutting my idea was Mana Drain plus the ring is really good, but maybe you just cut both of these and play Frog Bowmaster. Am I thinking? I also need to build a sideboard. This deck is also just not a good straight mine deck. It's really good with Hydro, but... Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is... Like... Yeah, black is really good, but like then you're just playing Demir. And so then white just gives you swords, you also get some cool stuff in the sideboard. Being able to be a 4 of Rest in Peace deck is kind of sick. I don't know, I need to do some thinking on this deck. But yeah, I think I'm gonna head off the stream for now. But I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching.